Hey, welcome back to Worthington Model Railway, and today I am going to look at the Bachmann Class 416 2-car EMU. I'm going to say a couple of years ago, but might be out a little in my timing. Last couple of years it just sort of buzzed by, right? And it was when I was getting back into the hobby and back into putting together my layout. I saw on Sam's Trains one of Sam's interesting reviews of the Bachmann Class 416 2-car EMU set, and he picked one up pretty inexpensively, and I think I will probably agree with him as we look at this that if you can find them at the right price, they're great. But based on the current RRP for these, which is way over £200, it's just a little crazy. So I was browsing through some used stuff the other day, and I came across one of these, and the price was kind of right. It was about £100 for the set. And so I thought, well, it's kind of in my era. I do run some southern stuff. I grew up, I grew up. Formative years teenage years were spent in Kent with southern region stuff and watching things like this or riding on trains similar to this. So fun to kind of put this stuff on my layout and play with it. So here we have the Class 416. Let's open it up and have a look and see what's in here. So here's the info. So this is 31376, 2 EPU EMU 5770 in late southern region multiple unit green, 21 DCC Decoder ready. We'll talk a bit about that a bit later. I don't know if this has a decoder in it or not, so we'll have to find out. I have a feeling it probably doesn't, but based on the price I paid for it, but we'll see. So if I open it up, there's some documentation in here, which will be happier. It's the usual stuff, getting the body off, etc., etc. Location of body groups. Remove the 2 screws under the cab. Look and see if there's actually a decoder in here. We'll check that out. Let's start off with the business end of the unit. Open this up. So looks like there's a coupler in here for tight coupling of the units. Although the coupler is already on that end by the looks of things. So this is the business end of things. Let's get the other one out and then we can look at them both together. Coupling unit. Okay, so let's start to look at these. So obviously we have the electrical pickup here for the third rail. I'm not going to put third rails on the layout. It's not going to happen. We'll just pretend the third rail is there for the pickup. Obviously there's pickups in all of these, which is nice. I mean, the detail is pretty reasonable on here. I mean, that's not really a lot more you're going to see than seats in the compartments and slam doors, and there are no smoking signs on some of these. The end is quite nicely detailed. printing is nice. Obviously we got these brake pipes, vacuum pipes on here, and if you can see there in the cab, I don't know if you can see here with the lighting, but there's some detail in the cab. There is there's a wheel in, steering wheel in there. I don't think you can see it. And nice detail here with the windshield wipers. I think this printing here, if we can get it to focus, it's trying to focus. It's almost readable. I can't get that to focus. Sometimes if I put my finger right on it, it'll focus on my finger, and then we can maybe read it. Okay, so, and if I look at the business end, this cab, which is way heavier, you can see there's basically the same sort of detail on the end here. With the windshield wipers, we have the vacuum pipes. These are not sprung buffers, but didn't really expect them to be. The roof detail on these is really nice. Obviously all molded, it's not separately fitted, but there is a lot of roof detail on there. And similarly on the non-driven car. Obviously on this car, windows go right up to the end, only a small cab. On this one you do have the area where the motor and the generator would be, which is in here, and there's a guard section here we don't have on the other side. More pickups again, so both of these have pickups on them for the third rail. There's quite a lot of underbody detail, particularly on this the motor end. A lot of detail there in terms of boxes and vacuum pipes and what have you. There's also someone here, but this is really just braking detail, not much else going on there. So overall, I mean, it's not a spectacular model, but I think if you can pick it up at the right price, it's pretty good. It'll be interesting to see how it runs on the layout. But first thing I have to do is go and try and determine if there is a DCC decoder in here. So what I'm actually going to do is go stick it on my test track and see what the result is. So I'm back, and I'm more than just a little bit confused. Put this on the test track, and I used my NCE power cab, and it reads it as if there's a decoder in there. However, when I put it on the test track, the lights do come on, and it makes that kind of buzzing noise that tells you that there isn't a decoder in there, that it's DC sitting on DCC. Yet, as I say, it gave me a reading for a manufacturer number and a decoder number. However, didn't do anything. It wouldn't move, wouldn't go anywhere. Just the lights came on. I took it up and I put it on the layout on the DC track, and it runs perfectly. It runs beautifully on the DC track on the layout. So I'm gonna open it up and just try to determine what's going on, if it has a decoder that is not working, or if it doesn't have a decoder, or whatever. So let's open this up and have a look. So it seems, looking at the instruction leaflet, to get this body open I have to undo 2 screws at this end. One there and one here. And let's just drop those screws out. One of them came out. And a different screwdriver here. Yep, that's a better fit. And then it's this thing that I hate, where we have to just gently ease the sides of the cab off. Now, these devices are actually sold for taking iPhones apart, but I find them very useful to do this. So basically we can just run this along the side, get this body up past the clips on this side, and then try to do the same thing on this side, get the body up past the clips, and hopefully then it will start to slide off. There we go. This one does not want to come off this end for whatever reason. There we go. You see there's these little points here where these clips come in, and I just need to ease this thing over those clips. Do not think this is the best design, but we have to deal with it. Interesting. Okay, so the body off, you can look and see what we have here. Now this looks just like this looks to be a blanking plate. Yep, just a blanking plate. It's not a decoder. So sort of interesting that the result that I got. So if we take this is the blanking plate. So I do have a couple of 21 pin decoders floating around somewhere, but I don't necessarily have a EMU sound decoder, so maybe that's something that I've got to look at and see what we can do with that before we go any further with this. But I'll leave this blanking plate on, and we'll do a quick run on the DC portion of the layout so you can see this locomotive running, but nothing exciting. Interestingly, when I put it on DC, I didn't even get any lights on the inside, which sort of surprised me. Okay, well, at least we know what we're working with here. So we'll get the body back on, and let's go run it on the layout quickly. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at this EMU. Certainly is a very nice runner, runs really well in the layout. I think I might leave this as DC for the moment. I'll look into DCC options in the future, but it will run quite happily on the DC portion of the layout. If you liked the video, please press the like button, helps the algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, button to the top right will help you to subscribe, and another video to the top left.